You've been lied to. For decades. There's a reason you feel tired, foggy, or even heavier despite eating right and popping that daily multivitamin. You think you're doing something healthy. But what if I told you the truth about multivitamins might actually shock you? In fact, what you think is helping could be the very thing slowly sabotaging your health. Today, we're going to uncover a $170 billion industry built on fear, false promises, and half-truths, and reveal what doctors and supplement companies won't dare admit. If you've ever bought a multivitamin, you need to see this. Let's rewind for a second. To understand how we got here, how a harmless daily habit became a potential health threat, we need to go back to where it all started. The year? 1943. World War II was raging. Food shortages were real. And the US government needed a way to keep troops and citizens nourished, fast. So scientists created a synthetic way to deliver essential nutrients in pill form. It was a temporary solution. But something happened no one expected. People felt better. Or at least, they thought they did. The pharmaceutical industry saw an opportunity. And within a few years, multivitamins hit grocery shelves nationwide. Not as a short-term fix, but as a lifelong daily essential. Fast forward to today. The global vitamin and supplement market is worth over $170 billion. Let that sink in. $170 billion built on the idea that a pill can replace your diet, improve your health, and extend your life. But here's the part no one talks about: the supplement industry is barely regulated. The FDA doesn't test supplements the same way it tests medications. Companies don't need to prove their pills are effective. They don't even need to prove they're safe. In fact, most vitamins are produced in overseas labs, often using synthetic compounds your body doesn't recognize, let alone absorb properly. So what are we really paying for? Here's where it gets real. In 2011, the Iowa Women's Health Study, a massive 19-year research project, found something terrifying. Women who took multivitamins regularly had a higher risk of death than those who didn't. Let me repeat that. More vitamins. Higher mortality. Why? We'll get to that. But before we do, if you've ever taken multivitamins thinking they're helping, ask yourself right now, are you still taking them daily? Or are you starting to question them like I did? Let's break down that study I just mentioned, because it's one of the most shocking pieces of research in modern health history, and hardly anyone talks about it. It's called the Iowa Women's Health Study. Researchers followed over 38,000 women for 19 years. Not just a week, or a month, 19 years of lifestyle, health data, and supplement usage. These weren't unhealthy people. In fact, they were relatively well-educated, middle-aged to older women, exactly the kind of people you'd expect to benefit most from vitamins. But here's what the researchers found. The women who took multivitamins, iron supplements, copper, and even vitamin B6, they had a statistically significant increase in all-cause mortality. Meaning, they were more likely to die from any cause than women who didn't take those supplements. Let that sit for a moment. Multivitamins linked to higher death rates. Now, you might be wondering, couldn't there be other reasons? Maybe the women taking vitamins already had health problems? Fair question. The researchers accounted for that. Even after adjusting for things like age, physical activity, smoking, and pre-existing conditions, the data still showed a clear, disturbing trend. And the worst part? The increased risk wasn't small. For some supplements, like iron, the mortality risk jumped as much as 18%. And we're not talking about megadoses here. These were normal, recommended amounts, the kind sold in every grocery store aisle. Now ask yourself this: why wasn't this front page news? Why didn't your doctor tell you? Why is the label on that bottle still using words like supports heart health and boosts immunity, even though the science shows otherwise? Here's the real kicker. This wasn't the only study. In 2012, a team of researchers from the University of Minnesota reviewed multiple trials and reached a similar conclusion: most vitamin supplements showed no benefit, and some may actually increase your risk of cancer and heart disease. Yet the supplement industry, it kept booming. Now I want to hear from you, especially if you've ever felt that gut instinct that something wasn't right about these daily pills. Have you ever questioned a product because it felt too good to be true? Let's expose this together. If multivitamins aren't helping, or worse, possibly harming, then what does your body actually need? To answer that, let's look at how your body really works. You're not a machine that needs a quick oil change. You're a living, breathing organism made up of trillions of cells, each with specific needs, sensitivities, and rhythms. And here's the truth: your body doesn't just want nutrients. It wants the right nutrients, in the right form, at the right time. When you eat a piece of wild salmon or fresh spinach, you're getting nutrients in their natural matrix, combined with enzymes, cofactors, and fiber. These combinations are how your body has evolved to absorb vitamins and minerals for thousands of years. But when you take a multivitamin, you're dumping isolated, synthetic versions of these nutrients, often in unnatural doses, into your system, all at once, without the support network nature intended. It's like handing someone a box of Lego bricks without the instructions, and expecting them to build a rocket ship. Your body goes, "What is this? Where do I even start?" And here's the kicker: some of those nutrients compete with each other. For example, zinc and copper fight for absorption in the gut. Too much calcium can block magnesium. High doses of synthetic vitamin E can suppress the absorption of vitamin K, an essential nutrient for blood clotting and bone health. So instead of helping you, that all-in-one pill might be triggering a nutrient traffic jam in your body. And guess what? That can lead to fatigue, inflammation, and even long-term deficiencies. Despite you doing the right thing. Even the forms of these vitamins matter. Take vitamin B12. The most common form in cheap multivitamins? Cyanocobalamin. Sounds fancy, right? It's actually the worst form your body can use, because your liver has to strip off the cyanide molecule, convert it into something usable, and excrete the rest. A better form? Methylcobalamin or adenosylcobalamin. Found in real food or higher quality whole food supplements. Much more bioavailable. Much more effective. But most brands won't use those better forms. Why? Because they're more expensive to make. And in an industry where profit margins are king, they'd rather spend money on marketing than quality. So the label looks good. But the science? Not so much. Have you ever noticed that despite taking supplements, your energy never really improves? Your sleep doesn't get deeper? Your skin doesn't glow? That's not your fault. You were sold the wrong solution. What your body needs is bioavailable nutrients from real, living foods, or at the very least, supplements made from real food extracts that your body can actually recognize. Would you rather eat a fresh orange? Or swallow a tablet that says contains orange essence? You already know the answer. And this is just the beginning. Now that you understand most of these pills are barely absorbed, let's get into why they're still being sold like health is going out of fashion. Big surprise, the multivitamin market isn't run by wellness experts, it's run by billion-dollar companies trying to sell you hope in a capsule. Pfizer owns Centrum. Bayer? One a day. Nestle bought Garden of Life. Unilever scooped up Ollie. We're talking about the same companies that push painkillers, pesticides, and candy bars, and now they want to tell you how to be healthy? Come on. They manufacture cheap, synthetic vitamins in bulk, Slap a colorful label on the bottle, and add just enough marketing to convince you it's doctor recommended. Flip the bottle and look at the ingredients. Magnesium oxide, barely absorbed. Calcium carbonate, literally chalk. Ascorbic acid, cheap vitamin C substitute. Titanium dioxide, for color. Hydrogenated oils, for shelf life. These aren't nutrients. These are leftovers from industrial processing. And yet they can still legally print supports heart health on the front, because technically, the pills contain the RDA. Doesn't matter if your body can't use it. The label's all that counts. Now, let's talk about what doctors really say. Here's what most people don't realize: your doctor likely received less than a week of nutrition education in med school. They're trained to diagnose and medicate, not prevent. So when researchers at Johns Hopkins and Harvard say multivitamins show no significant benefit in preventing cancer, heart disease, or early death, you might want to listen. Most people taking these pills aren't deficient, they're just sold on the idea that more is better. But your body doesn't work that way. If you're low on one thing, throwing 30 nutrients at it doesn't fix the root problem. In some cases, it actually causes imbalances. But, let's be real, there are a few nutrients that do matter. Especially if you're low on them. The catch? They need to be taken correctly. Vitamin D3, not D2. Magnesium glycinate or threonate, not oxide. Methylated B12, not cyanocobalamin. Omega-3s, from tested, clean fish oil, not random seed blends. See the pattern? It's about quality and purpose, not just popping whatever's trending on Amazon. The real kicker? Most people who think their multivitamin is helping are just experiencing placebo. They start taking it, feel like they're being proactive, and that feeling alone motivates better choices, like eating cleaner or exercising more. It's not the pill. It's the psychological momentum it creates. Which brings us here: you don't need a multivitamin to feel better. You need consistent habits. Food with color. Sleep. Hydration. Movement. And maybe, a few targeted nutrients when you've actually tested and know you're low. Not guessed. Tested. Imagine going to the mechanic and saying just replace every part. Sounds ridiculous, right? But that's what we do with multivitamins. We guess. We hope. And we pay for it, over and over. Meanwhile, most supplement companies use the same factories, the same synthetic blends, and sell you on the illusion of health. So what should you do? Eat nutrient-dense food. Bright vegetables. Good fats. Clean protein. Get your blood work done once a year. Supplement surgically, like a sniper, not a shotgun. And stop outsourcing your health to a bottle. Because when it really comes down to it, your body isn't broken. It doesn't need a magic pill. It needs consistency. It needs intention. And it needs you to stop believing the billion-dollar lie they've sold us since the first vitamin ad hit a magazine cover. So, next time you see that shiny little bottle promising immune support or daily vitality, remember, if your health could be fixed by a $10 pill, there wouldn't be an entire industry built on keeping you confused. Multivitamins aren't evil. But thinking they're the answer? That's where you lose. Health isn't found in a capsule. It's found in your choices. So before you pop your next pill, ask yourself, am I taking this because my body needs it? Or because I want to feel like I'm doing something? Big difference. And that's the truth nobody profits from telling you. If this opened your eyes, hit that like button so more people stop wasting money on fake health. And if you want real solutions backed by science, not sales tactics, subscribe.